Why does getting to the airport have to be such a dilemma? The driving, parking, finagling a ride. Well, if you take Uber, it doesn't. It's easy. Just install the Uber app. Enter your destination, confirm your location, and within minutes, a car will pick you up. Whether you're catching the red eye or taking off at the crack of dawn, you can request a ride 24/7. So avoid the hassle. Install the Uber app now and take your first ride today. Uber, the better way to get there.
You're tuning in to the Goldilocks presentation of the Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine Show with Anthony Rodriguez. Anthony Rodriguez, aka Walking Crow, found transformational energy healing through a personal search into healing and was transformed by this experience. He made the decision to pursue training and has since become a certified energy healing practitioner with an emphasis on working with clients in recovery from addiction. His willingness to be open and listen has allowed him to be of service to many who seek a peaceful, serene, and healthier body, mind, and spirit. Call in now if you would like to speak with Anthony. The call-in number is 713-955-0332. Enjoy this transformational and healing show.
Well, welcome back. Today's Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine Show. Here we are again. My name is Anthony Rodriguez, Walking Crow, and wow, what a year it has been. The show has been on for about 4 or 5 months now, and this is the second to the last week of the end of the year, and coming up on Christmas, coming up on the winter solstice, coming up on the new year. And thank you very much. Wow, what an amazing time. I want to thank first and foremost my producer Tiffany White for allowing those of us who have shows on her network to be here and to do what it is that we do. We are so blessed because she is blessed, and she blesses us with the permission to be on her network, and I am so grateful. Once again, my name is Anthony Rodriguez, and this is the Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine Show. And today we're going to continue to talk about the conversation that ongoing conversation from last week, and of letting go and truly manifesting the things that we want for ourselves, and moving forward, moving from water to earth, moving to the direction of the north, direction of wisdom, direction of our ancestors, a whole, the direction of rest, as we move into the winter solstice and out of the direction of the west, direction of the woman, direction of letting go, autumn. We've spent the last few months letting go, hopefully, and in hopes of manifesting new beginnings, a new way of life, a new way of being, and do you want a new way of being? And if so, what does that look like to you? And what did it feel to let go of the things that are no longer necessary? And did you do that? And were you able to let go of those things? There's still time. We have about, we just have a little bit less than 11 hours left to the winter solstice. So, you have some time. No pressure. I want to remind you and everybody listening that if you want to call in, 713-955-0332. Feel free. We're going to take questions. We're going to answer whatever we can. We're going to try to help as many people as we can, any way we can today. And push 1 to get out of the listen mode and ask any questions you want. You can even ask who's buried in Grant's tomb, and I'll answer that because I know the answer to that. Anyway, so I hope everybody has had a great week, and I hope everybody is moving through the holiday season without too much stress or anxiety. And if you have had to deal with stress and anxiety, I hope you've been listening to the show and you've been grounding. I hope you've been taking your feet and placing them on the floor and allowing Mother Earth's energy to flow through and allow your energy like to sink down, down, down. Now, one of the things that I didn't do, and I always forget, is I like to start, whenever I start talking, by saying palabra, word. And when I say that, when I say palabra, word, and I pause for a second, it means that I'm going to be in my word, and my word is my truth. My word is my soul. And my word is going to be impeccable, because that's what Don Miguel Ruiz teaches us, to be impeccable with our word, to stay out of the mitote, the noise in our head, and the noise that goes on of all the voices. And what I have learned is to listen to that one true voice that is mine, the one true voice that is Creator, Great Spirit, a whole. The one true voice is of the ancestors and the spirit guides and the spirit animals, my spirit guides. And I listen to that true voice. And I stopped listening to the voices a long time ago. And they're the voices those were the voices that got in my way of manifesting new beginnings. They got in the way of letting go of the burdens that I no longer needed to carry. Letting go of those burdens. What are the burdens that you carry? What is it that you just haven't been able to let go of or forgive somebody for? There's people in our lives that we sometimes say, well, I can't forgive them. Well, not forgiving them is holding you back, and will hold you back as long as you hold on to that anger, fear, shame, hate, whatever it is you're holding on to. And as long as you don't forgive, you can't. You're going to be stumbling moving forward. And forgiveness isn't for them mostly. It's mostly for us, because we need to forgive ourselves. We need to forgive ourselves for holding on to the things that we hold on to with regards to the things that people did to us. We need to forgive ourselves for holding other people's feet to the fire when we don't want our feet held to the fire. That's how we begin to heal, by forgiving those around us that have transgressed on us, that have stepped on our toes, and letting go is just the beginning. Forgiveness is just the beginning. And I started with word, palabra, being impeccable with your word, because it's changing the way we speak to ourselves and of others that's going to help us to change our lives. The way we speak. What is it that we say about ourselves? How is it we talk about ourselves? What is it that we say to ourselves? How is it that we excuse ourselves with other people while using words like, yeah, but, this time? There's people out there that are going to yeah, but themselves to death, unfortunately. Because there's things they can't stop doing. They can't stop poisoning themselves, whether it's with word, whether it's with alcohol, whether it's with food, whether it's sitting watching CNN for 4 or 5 hours at a shot. What is it? What is it that you poison yourself with? This morning, Saturday night, I received an email from a young woman in Warsaw, Poland. And she said that she found me through my YouTube channel, Anthony Rodriguez, Walking Crow, Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine. And she had watched a few of my videos. She said she needed help. And so, we were emailing. She emailed me, and I'm grateful for her reaching out to me. And I'm grateful that my voice reaches that far. And I know it can reach that far through Goldilocks Productions as well, and the Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine Show, because this is a podcast, and people can log in and listen anytime they want to. Anytime they want to. You don't have to sit at your radio from 1 to 2 on a Tuesday. You can listen to it tonight, tomorrow, next week, next year if you want to, But I'd like to have you listening now. Well, anyways, her and I talked. We Skyped for about an hour or so, maybe 40 minutes. And, people on the other side of the world are not so different from me, and a woman at that. She wasn't that much different, other, we're different sexes, but we came into a conversation, and I learned that she was the daughter of an alcoholic, and her father had committed suicide. Well, that's a lot to carry around as a young woman of 30 years old. That's how old she is. And, for the last 5 years, she's been carrying that burden. But longer than that, she's been dealing with the burden of his alcoholism, and then her alcoholism or her Al-Anonism, and carrying that energy and that medicine in her life, which isn't working for her. She said that she was had been taking drugs, and she had a miscarriage, and she was in a terrible relationship that she got out of. And I commended her for getting out of that relationship, and I commended her for not taking any drugs anymore. And I said to her, that baby knew that this wasn't the place, because babies choose their parents. They choose their parents, and if that's a bad situation, that baby shouldn't be here. And not that I want any children to be lost to anything, because I love kids. I more than anybody love kids, and I don't have kids, but I love children, and I don't want anything to happen to anybody, but I also want them to have a good upbringing and good parents and solid parents, and parents with a solid relationship if possible, and if not together, apart, solid relationship, because those children are going to learn what we pass on. They're going to learn what we pass on, like I learned what my parents passed on. Now, I'm not saying that everything that my parents passed on is a bad thing, but what I am saying is I struggled for a lifetime until I was able to make changes in my life and let go of hurts and wounds and traumas and things that happened in my life. And then I was able to stop holding my parents' feet to the fire of blame and fault, and I was able to forgive and live in forgiveness and be forgiven as well. Be forgiven meaning I was able to forgive myself, for carrying that burden for a lifetime. And I shouldn't have had to, but there was no one to teach me. There was no one to teach me to let go. When they teach you the lessons of religion, there's a lot of things they don't teach you because they don't know. Otherwise, they lose control. Yes, I said it. Otherwise, they lose control of those people of religion. And I had to and find a different path, and a different spiritual path, and and learn a different way. But it took me over 50 years to figure it out and find it. And thank Creator that I found it. And I get to be here right here, right now, talking to you about what that looks like and how that is. 713-955-0332 is the number. It's a call-in number. If you want to call in and ask a question, if you want to, if you have a situation in your life that you would want to talk about, feel free to call in. I'm looking forward to some callers. And if you can, I know I have a lot of friends out there that are healers. I wish they would call in today because, boy, we're coming into the end of the year, we're in the home stretch, and wow, winter solstice tonight. We had the full moon last week, and this week is the winter solstice, the new moon, I believe. We're coming up on the new moon. And what is it? How do I want to change? How do I want to manifest? Lots of stuff is changing in my life, and I had a tough year. How many of you have had a tough year? How many of you have had a tough time? How many of you have had a tough morning? Never mind the year, or a tough time, or a tough week, or a tough month. How many of you having a tough time today? Sat in traffic for a couple hours on the way to work, when you know that you have other things to do other than sit in traffic, How many of you have taken time to be silent, be still through all of that, any of that? I fortunately have been able to do that, and I did some of that in a way this morning. And what do you give yourself that allows you to take time for yourself? This morning, I went out and met a friend to walk around the reservoir in the Hollywood Hills, just below the Hollywood sign, and it's Lake Hollywood, and it's a 3-mile walk, and I got to be blessed with a breeze. It was a beautiful autumn morning, and it was cold, and my friend was talkative, and we were both chatty all the way around, and got to see some birds and some animals. Got to see deer medicine, a whole, and got to talk about things, and got to be with nature and mother in a different way. It was a good day, and I was able to give myself fellowship with a friend of mine real quick, 713-955-0332. Push 1 to get out of listen mode so you can ask a question or talk to me on the radio. If you're out there listening, I know there's a couple of callers there. Feel free to push 1 to get out of a listen mode already. So I was able to give something to myself, and it was fellowship, and I was able to give that to my friend. This is a friend of somebody who's been a friend of mine for 25 years, and I was able to listen to her, and she was telling me she had she pulled her back, and it was upper back, and it was where her heart is, her will center. And I was trying to figure out what it was, and what I understood after we talked a little bit is, she has lost a lot of people who have crossed over, close friends, and her father fell ill a few years ago, and he's now in a home, and she was really being with that medicine and feeling it in her heart, and she lost a dog, Spencer, that was her partner that was with her for a long time. And I explained to her, I said, partner, the dog, loyalty medicine, you miss him, and go ahead and miss him and mourn for that animal that was your friend, and you were a friend to him. You gave him a good quality of life, and she did. This dog was ill for a long time, and she gave him a great quality of life. A lot of people don't get that kind of quality of life, but I know this woman, I know this person. She's a good person, and she really cares and loves people, and she's a giver. And she also knows how to receive. She doesn't just know how to give. She knows how to receive, and her and I have been friends for 25 years. And what is it that you want to give? What is it you want to give yourself? I gave myself that walk this morning with my friend in that talk. I gave myself that little bit of time that we came across a couple of deer, a mother and a young male buck, and it was quite an experience because they were within about 5 feet of me, and I was just like in awe of the medicine. Oh, how beautiful and majestic those animals are! Wow, just an amazing. And people see deers all the time, and I'm a city boy though. I don't get to see that stuff too often, too close. So when I see it, I want to experience it to the fullest. I want to remind you that you're listening to the Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine Show, and my name is Anthony Rodriguez Walking Crow, and our calling number is 713-955-0332, and you can push 1 to get out of listen mode and ask any questions you may have. You can also reach me if you want a 20-minute consultation, free consultation, with regards to an energy healing. You can reach me at Anthony@sacreddrummedicine.com, or you can call me at area code 818-442-1717. You can also go to my website to see what it is exactly that I do as an energy healer and a medicine man, and that's at sacreddrum24.weebly.com. Well, all right. So we're coming into the winter solstice, time of winter, time of the direction of the north, time of the direction of white buffalo, wisdom, rest, wisdom, the direction of the ancestors, direction of the stone people, the grandmothers and the grandfathers. There's so much wisdom in the north. In preparation, resting in preparation of the direction of the east, comes springtime, direction of the born and the unborn, direction of new beginnings. And what is it that you want to begin with this year? Coming up with the Christ consciousness on the 24th and the 25th, and then the new year on the 1st. What is it you want to come into the new year with? How is it that you want to come into the new year? Have you asked yourself that question? Are you tired of feeling lousy about feeling lousy? What do they say in Alcoholics Anonymous? Sick and tired of being sick and tired. When does it come to an end? When are you become willing to drop the rock, to let go and let go and let God? When is it that you're going to come to that point when you're going to get tired of carrying around burdens that of a lifetime that aren't happening anymore, and you don't let them go because they're yours? Well, so what if they're yours? Let them go if they're a hindrance to your life. I told this story, and I use this example all the time. I lived on the edge of West Hollywood years ago, and I used to have to drive to the San Fernando Valley for work. And on the way out, I would go up Franklin, not far from Hollywood Boulevard, near the Hollywood Bowl. And I would see in the summertime this homeless guy with his pants were all torn up. He was all dirty, and he had his genitalia hanging out of the back of his pants when he was walking down the street. And yeah, he's homeless, but he was wearing this army jacket. He was wearing this big army jacket, and it was 95. It was 100 degrees out, and it was hot. I know it was hot because I was driving with my windows in a truck that didn't have air conditioning, so it was hot, And I always ask the question to people when I tell this story: do you know why he wore that jacket? And they look at me and they say no. And the answer is because it was his. It was his jacket. It was all he had, so he wore it. The same with the things you carry and the burdens that you don't let go of. You carry them because they're yours. And let me tell you right here, right now, you don't have to carry those burdens. You don't have to keep living in that life that you say you want to let go of, but you refuse to let go of. White knuckling every day, white knuckling every situation you come into. Waiting for the other shoe to drop and waiting for somebody to say the wrong thing so you can pounce on them about them saying the wrong thing about you because, you're sensitive. You're sensitive. Not being able to tell somebody that you love them or ask them for love because you feel like if you say something, they won't love you. How many of you out there are like that? I know that I did that for a lifetime, and I've walked around that way, and everything hurt and everything stung, and that was no way to go through life. Not at all. Not at all. 713-955-0332. That's the call-in number. And if you're listening and you want to be able to talk to me, push 1 to get out of listen mode, and we'll talk about anything you want to talk about. It's the last 2 weeks of the year. It's the last day before the winter solstice, the last day of autumn, direction of the woman, direction of fall, direction of the west, direction of letting go, grandmother moon, 28-day cycle, aho. And saying that, the 28-day cycle, women are the epitome of the example of letting go because they let go every 28 days. If that seed is not fertilized, the egg is not fertilized, the body releases it and moves into the next cycle of receiving another egg, another seed to go through the next 28-day cycle in preparation for, I hope, just like direction of the north, rest in preparation for, in preparation of. And it doesn't get fertilized and they release. So women have the innate ability physically to let go. And it's an amazing thing. And I'm glad that I see that. I'm glad that I heard that in my heart. And that I get to see that example every time I see the female form, the divine feminine form, aho. The divine goddess form, aho. Mother, aho. Mother Earth, aho. Mother lets go. The divine feminine are the supreme example of letting go. So saying that, ladies and men, how is it you want to let go? And can you? And what are you holding on to? Are you holding on to the memories of the past and the stories that you can spin from your hurts, and point the finger of blame? How is that going to help you to move forward? Let go of those things that are no longer happening to you anymore. Let go of them. My wife talks about that. Vanessa Leilani Adlawan Rodriguez. She's a healer of an extraordinary kind, and she says to women, those things are not happening to you anymore. And she talks about molestation and things like that. She says it's not happening anymore. That's good news. But in our minds, and sometimes in our minds with stuff like that, because it's so heavy, we don't know that it's not happening anymore. To us, it's still happening through the story, spinning of the story, through the spinning of the hard drive between our ears. When our memory is in our body and our memory is suffering because we're manifesting smoking, we're manifesting pot smoking, we're manifesting alcoholism, we're manifesting stuffing with food, we're manifesting sitting in front of a television watching non-news as truth and accepting it as that. And it's not. Manifesting uterine cancer, manifesting testicular cancer, because of broken connections in the body and broken connections to others and connections that we don't want to repair because we want to hold on to our anger and our fear and our shame and our trauma. Well, the good news is you don't have to let go of it. You don't have to wear that jacket in the summertime. You can let go of it. And how do I do that? First and foremost, by forgiving yourself, forgiving others. Put your feet flat on the floor. Put your hands on your knees. You know, put your hands on your knees and allow Mother Earth's energy to flow through your body, up into the soles of your feet, up past the top of your foot, into your ankle, up into your shins and your calf. You know, up past making the turn at your knee into your quadriceps and your thighs, and your hamstrings, moving up into your first chakra, into the perineum, first chakra, allowing the energy to flow up from there. Red, color red, element, root, earth, security, well-being, job, money, security, safety. You are the tree that will not be blown over by the four winds. Allowing your energy to flow upward into your second chakra, into the water. Second chakra, color orange, element water, aho. It's where we feel. It's where we connect to others. It's where we create, procreate, and co-create. Oh. And from there, allowing the energy to flow upwards while you have your eyes closed into your third chakra. I can, I will, I do. Color is yellow, element fire. It's where our self-esteem lives. And that energy rises up to our heart, crosses the bridge of our heart, air, lungs. I love, I'm loved. And it rises up into your fifth chakra, blue, element, sound, expression, where you express those things that are holding you back for a lifetime. And the energy rises up, the kundalini to the third eye, sixth chakra. Oh, ether. Ether. I know, I see, I hear, I know, I learn. And then it rises up to the crown chakra. White, gold, opulence, aho. Source, creator, great spirit, aho. And allow the energy to flow through your body and allow it to work through you. And then you get to work through the energy. You know, energy is an interesting thing. You can't create it and you can't destroy it. It just is. And everything around us, whether it's a table, whether it's my microphone, whether it's the computers in front of me, or whether it's my shoes, my hair, my body, my soul, it's all energy. My voice is energy. It's vibration. What you hear is vibration. You're hearing energy. And I'd like you to give me a call, 713-955-0332. Push 1 to get out of listen mode. And share your energy with me, your sound, your expression. Aho. What is it that you would like to change? How do you want to change it? How long do you think you can hold on to those things before, you start breaking nails and you can no longer white knuckle your life? Before you're, half a bottle deep into a bottle of wine, 2 glasses deep, or, whatever it is that you're fixing with. We no longer have to fix with things. So, because we can actually find healing, safety, security in things that don't involve taking us out of ourselves. Medications, self-medicating is no longer necessary if you're listening, if you're awake, if you're alive, and you say to yourself and to others, hi, my name's Anthony. I need help. Will you help me? Will you love me? Will you care for me? I need your help. Aho. Aho. I need your help. How do you want to be helped? 713-955-0332. Call in. Push 1 to get out of listen mode. I have a couple of events coming up. One of them is tomorrow. I'll be at the Indigo Alliance in Pasadena tomorrow, and I'll be doing half-hour healings there with the drum and energy healing. And I'll be reading chakras there tomorrow from 1 o'clock to 4. Also, on the 21st, tomorrow night, we will be at Einstein's Cube at 1041 East Green Street, room 202. Men and self-care, miscellaneous. I spoke about vibration, voice, expression. Many of us men don't say the things we need to say and talk about the things we need to talk about because of shame or hurt or we're wounded, and that holds us back. So miscellaneous men and self-care is a place where men can come and speak their truth, talk about their wounds, talk about their hurt, talk about their triumphs. And even if they don't have any of those things, if they just want to share the space with other men who are trying to heal, we welcome you at 7:30 at 1041 East Green Street in Pasadena at the Einstein's Cube upstairs in Suite 202. And then the 27th of December, I will be at Life Food Organic in Hollywood, California on Cahuenga, and I will be doing a talk on just what we're doing now, letting go and manifesting into the new year, new beginnings, manifesting anew, letting go of the old. And I'll be doing a talk there every Tuesday into the new year, every Tuesday of January, starting on the 27th of December at 5 o'clock. And it's a small organic place, or organic restaurant, but there's room for 10 or 12 people. So I welcome you, and if you're within my the sound of my voice, I welcome you. And heck, I wouldn't mind if there was a crowd going out the door. What a problem for a business to have, right? Having people wanting to come in for an event. Anyway, so I'll be there from 5 to 6, starting Tuesday, December 27th at 5 o'clock. So come on out and join with me. And then I'll be doing ongoing workshops with Insights with Audrey. I'll be scheduling those, and I'll be talking about those after the first of the year and how you can come out and join us to journey to get a reading from Audrey and learn about the medicine wheel and the chakra system. And at some point, she's even doing wax readings where you create this wax painting on a piece of cardboard, and she reads it. And I experienced that a couple of weeks ago at an event her and I did. What an amazing experience that was. What an amazing experience. Wow. 713-955-0332. Call in. And, what is it that you would like to hear? What is it that you would like to talk about? What's going on in your life today that you have not been able to let go of, that you would like to? You would like to stop manifesting hurts and wounds and blame, but you just can't stop yourself. Anthony, how can I use my word, palabra, to change my life? Sometimes it's just about not opening your mouth and being silent and being still. Can you do that when somebody hurts you and you feel like you want to respond or react or give them a piece of your mind? Sometimes some things are just better left unsaid and undone, just to be still and be with that, and just say, oh, you know what is the lesson in this for me? Because most of us think we should be teaching lessons, and do we want to be doing that? It's a time of letting go. It's time of coming into the Christ consciousness. And I say that, and I hope all of you know that I mean Christmas. But people sometimes get a bad taste of Christmas in their mouth because of their experiences, and I don't want that. So I'm talking about the Christ consciousness. Christ is an ascended master, like Kuan Yin, like Buddha, like Muhammad, like many, and as an example, he gave of himself. Gandhi gave of himself. Many gave of themselves. Kuan Yin teaches us compassion. And when will you start to have compassion for yourself? when you say you have compassion to others. Charity starts at home. When that mask falls in the plane, when the pressure drops in the plane and the masks fall, they say, put the mask on yourself first. How is it that you can help yourself first? And you can't give away what you haven't got. That's a big saying from AA. That's one that I use all the time. You can't give away what you haven't got. And there's a lot of people out there, and I see them in social media. I don't know, they want to give advice, and they're trying to be witty in what they're saying, and I'm like, but I read all the other stuff you say. They forget that they post all that other stuff, and the anger, the hurt, and the fear and the shame comes up, and you see it. You see it in print. They forget that they do that. You can't give away what you haven't got. Thank you for trying, though. With time, comes wisdom. With time comes wisdom. With work comes wisdom. Putting in the time and putting in the work, we become wise in and of ourselves. And I'm not saying that, and you know what, we may not all be wise, and if we do, it's in our own way and in our own medicine. But what do you want to change? How can you change it? How can you stop talking to yourself that way? How can you stop stuffing yourself with food and stuffing your feelings when you should be talking about your feelings and expressing them and asking for help and asking them your feelings to be taken care of in another way, by being embraced, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually. Have you been embraced lately? I got a big embracing this morning when I saw my friend Lauren. We went for that walk. We embraced each other just walking, talking, understanding each other. That's embracing. That's not physical, but it's emotional, it's spiritual, and it enhances our physical. So we went through this feat. We allowed the energy to come up into our bodies. And what does it feel like? What did it feel like for you to have the energy flow up from your feet, from Mother Earth, into your body, into your perineum, into the second chakra, third chakra, your self-esteem, fire. Have your fire stoked. Take a breath, really deep, and stoke that fire in the third chakra. Fire needs oxygen. Oxygen passes through 4 chakra, air, lungs. I'm loved. Take a deep breath. Right down into the feet, and allow that air, breath, energy to pass through your heart and right into your third chakra, loving yourself and giving it to yourself, and allowing that fire to turn into a steam when it hits your second chakra, and allowing that water to flow downward into your root and water that root so you become an oak, the mighty oak that will not be knocked down by the 4 winds. And what do the 4 winds look like? Anger, resentment, hate, hurt, shame. I said 4 winds, but there are many more winds than 4. How is it you want to heal? And when will you let go of those things that you no longer need? Make a list of the things that make you happy. And then make a list of the things that make you sad. And look at the things that make you happy and do more of that. And look at the things that make you sad, the list of things that make you sad, the things that hurt you. And maybe put them on a piece of paper one at a time, single pieces of paper, each of those. And take a match. When you're ready and you set your intention of letting go, put that piece of paper in your right hand, because right hand is a divine masculine, and it's a hand of giving, moving forward. Left hand is a divine feminine, the hand of receiving. So take that piece of paper and put it in your right hand, and you take a lighter or a match or a candle in your left hand and give that flame to that piece of paper, to that hurt, to that wound, to that burden, and let it go. Burn it and watch the smoke rise up to create a great spirit while you set your intention of letting it go and ready to, and tell yourself and ask Creator to help you manifest a good life and a better life, and what it is that you would like in your life. What is it you would like in your life? How can you make your life better? And that's just the beginning. That's just the beginning. Another way of doing that is give yourself the intention of being in your body, being with your physical. putting your feet flat on the floor when you wake up in the morning, first thing, instead of going for coffee or a cigarette or a donut or whatever it is that you go for, sit at the edge of your bed. Put your feet on the floor, like we did that exercise of allowing Mother Earth's energy to come up into our feet and our energy like to sink down. But put your hands on your thighs and take a breath. Close your eyes and take a breath and feel the breath come into your body. And where does it land? Does it land in your second chakra? Does it land in your stomach, in your abdomen? Does it land in your just below your sternum? Does it land in your heart? Does it land in your throat? Does it land in your third eye? Does it land in your crown? Does it land in your root? Where does that breath lie? And pay attention to your body. Your body will talk to you when it feels it, especially when it's attached to an emotion. When it's attached to an emotion and you take that breath into your body, that breath is going to land there. If it's anger, if it's fear, if you're worried about money, if you're worried about a relationship that isn't good, that's where that breath is going to land. If you're not able to talk about things, or if you're talking too much, it's going to land in your fifth chakra, your throat, your expression, your hands, your arms, your shoulders, your collarbone, the whole. But pay attention and learn to be in your body and with your body. Because if we're not in our body and we're living in our heads, thinking and thinking and thinking about the things that happen to us in our life and the things we don't let go of, we will manifest dis-ease. And what does dis-ease look like? I already mentioned some of them. Smoking cigarettes, smoking pot, stuffing with food. It's holiday time. We will use that as an excuse to stuff with food, And, because every function for the next 2 weeks is going to be about eating, I'm going to a Christmas party tonight. There's going to be food. I was at a Christmas party Sunday night, and there was food. And we went over to my mother's house afterwards across the street, and we made tamales, and there was more food, and there's always, it's going to be that way. But, be cognizant and be aware of what's happening with you, of what you're feeling. And ask yourself, when you go to open your mouth and put a piece of whatever, cheese or whatever in your mouth, why am I eating? What's my intention for this food? Am I eating this food because I'm hungry? Or am I eating this food just to eat because I can't stand the way I feel or the way I'm feeling? Or I have to go home later and I don't want to be by myself, so I'll be with this stuffed feeling and I'll go to sleep. Depression comes at us in a lot of different ways. And by the way, if you're struggling with depression through the holidays, or anger, or loneliness, or fear, anxiety, stress, I will say reach out to somebody, reach out to a friend, or try to reach out to somebody that will listen. And usually a friend will listen. If a friend doesn't want to listen to you, then they may not be your friend. Who knows? But I will ask you to reach out. Send an email, send a text, however it is that you can reach out. And if you can't get a hold of anybody, and if you can't reach out and you feel there's too much hurt and there's too close of a connection, reach out to me and call me at area code 818-442-1717. I'll listen to you. I'll walk with you through whatever it is you need to walk through. I will hold your hand. I will talk you off the ledge. There's no reason why anybody should find themselves at the end of a rope or with a gun in their mouth or any of those types of things. It shouldn't happen, and it doesn't have to happen. We are here. We are humans, and we're here to support each other. I'm here to support you because you have been supporting me. And that's not the only reason I support you. I support you because you need supporting. You want supporting, and I will be there for you and others were there for me. Others were there for me many times over. 713-955-0332. We're at the 3/4 hour point. So it's 1:45, 1:44, and we got 15 minutes more or less in the show. And, give us a call, 713-955-0332. Push 1 to get out of listen mode, and what is it that you want to talk about? What is it that you need? What is it that you want to say? How is it that you want to heal? a young lady, I told you, the young lady, I think her name was Winota, reached out from Warsaw, Poland. Warsaw, Poland. Can you imagine that? And by the way, Warsaw, Poland is the home of my favorite all-time world leader, Lech Walesa. You know, this guy was just a labor leader, a laborer, and he became president of that country because he had a will. He had a burning desire. That man was probably as tall as my dad, 5 foot, 5'1". But boy, did he fill some big shoes, and he became a world leader. This young woman called me from Warsaw, Poland, and she needed help. She asked for help. There are those that live, here. They're right across the hall here, right across the courtyard from where my studio is. And there's people who are just down the street at the other end of a phone, and they won't ask for help. They won't tell you. They'd rather live with those things inside the little deep, dark secrets because they're theirs. And they won't let go of them. They won't serve you, my friend, my brother, my sister. Those things will not serve you if you keep holding on to them. Allow yourself to do yourself a service, not a disservice. Let go and let good. Aho. 713-955-0332 is the calling number. Push 1 to get out of listen mode. I'd like to talk to you. I'd like to hear what you have to say. What's your burden? What's your hurt? What is it you're not willing to let go of? And I mentioned my wife earlier, that she's an incredible healer. And, we had our issues this year, and we separated for a few months. And we both went to our respective corners, and we healed. And then we come back together, and we're healing. And not all couples do that. Most couples, a lot of couples go their separate ways and never try. Because they think it's fruitless. And there's a young man that comes to the miscellaneous men and self-care group, and he's a client of mine as well. And he tried everything. He exhausted every avenue in his marriage before it separated, and they went their separate ways. I saw him, I watched him, and we talked about it. He exhausted everything. He sought people out. He read books, went to counseling. He tried it all. And sometimes it doesn't work. And sometimes it's just time. It's time to let go. And once you let go, it's time to rest and give yourself goodness. Be well rooted and be well fruited. You're doing yourself a favor. The mighty oak doesn't grow from a green acorn once it falls off the tree. It grows from an acorn that has died and dried and becomes the mighty oak. Aho. These are the medicines that I've come across and that I've learned over the last couple of years, over the last few years, from my lessons in life and the examples, and I get to share them with many. I'd like to thank somebody a friend of mine, Kat Uribe. She has a place called Here and Now over in El Sereno, not far from here, a little suburb not far from here. And she was the first person to give me an energy healing. And one of the things she said to me once I got off the table was, you need to learn how to receive. And I always thought that I knew how to receive. And what I realized is I didn't know how to receive because no one had ever really given me anything. There was always some sort of unspoken or spoken expectation tied to the giving that they were giving me. It was, I was like if you chase this ball, I'll throw it. And we live our lives that way, and trying to live up to people's expectations is a hard way to be. And I don't have to do that. I don't have to live up to anybody's expectations. And I do what I do for myself, and I do what I do for my wife and my family. And sometimes it's not so easy. And with any luck and with any love, they're forgiving me, and I'm forgiving. So, what is it that you want to change? What is it that you want to do for yourself? How do you want to go into the new year? I have recovered from a seemingly hopeless state of mind and body. Seemingly. I have recovered from a seemingly hopeless state of mind and body. That means I'm not hopeless. That means maybe I was helpless, but I was never hopeless, because I was always hopeful that something would change. I was always hopeful that I would get help. I was always hopeful that I could find a way. but I was not hopeless. I was helpless. And I sought out help because I needed help. I needed what I needed. I needed you to know. And you don't know unless I tell you. You don't know unless I ask. You don't know. We have a caller calling from the 562. How can I help you today? Who am I speaking to? And we've got about 10 minutes, 11 minutes. Hello.
Aloha, how are you?
Good, how are you? Who am I speaking to?
Alma.
Hey, Alma. This is Alma calling from Maui, calling from the islands. All right, in the Pacific, direction of the west, direction of letting go. Direction of Welcome to the
I thought it'd be perfect. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you.
So your son, I saw that your son arrived safely and with gifts. He was bearing gifts.
He is, yes. He came bearing gifts, yes. I was so happy to see him. It was just such an emotional moment. You know, the last time I had seen him, it was back in July, and he's seen you since then, and I just felt like it was a different young man who stepped off the plane and who I hugged. So thank you for that.
Well, that's awesome, and you're welcome. And thank you for trusting in me and giving me the opportunity to work with your son. You know, because it's not everybody you want to send your family to for help, because you never know what you're going to get. But and Elma sent her son to me, and he didn't believe. He straight out told me that he didn't believe in what I do. But he came anyway.
Technically.
He still doesn't. He came to the sessions anyways, and he would say, "Well, I didn't feel anything. I don't know what I'm supposed to feel, but and Elma can tell you, and she probably will, what the experience was like for him. That the words that he used to her about his experience. And would you share that with us, Elma?
Yeah, he's, of course, saying, I don't believe in what you do, what you believe in, Mom, but I'll go. And so he went to see you, and I talked to him, all afterwards, because during the process, I don't feel anything. It's okay. It's fine. But he recently, as I spoke to him again, he mentioned, I no longer feel anger. I no longer have anxiety. And that for me was such a gift to hear that, because, I have seen anxiety in him, especially ever since his father died. And I had seen, I know what it was to live in that anxiety, and I didn't want that for him. And so for him to say, I don't feel that anymore, Mom, was priceless.
Wow.
And then not to say it'll never come back, but at least not for those situations, whatever it is at the time that he was going through, So that for me was amazing to hear him and to see him, and just having him here yesterday, hearing him and the other son, just laughing and talking and playing, has just been so great just to hear them in laughter and happiness, and that's been such a great gift to me.
That's awesome. When did he fly in? Was it yesterday?
Yeah, he just arrived yesterday. Basically 24 hours ago almost. Our time is noon. He got here at 2:30 our time. So
he flew in just in time for the ending of autumn, the time of letting go, and the beginning of the winter solstice. Earth, water to earth.
Right.
I am. That makes me smile. Every time you talk about it and you share that, and you and I have spoken about that a few times, I just become overwhelmed with emotion. Just listening to the joy and the emotion that spills over from you. And I'm glad that I'm able to make that connection with you, because it means that I'm alive. It means that I've changed. I've let go of listening to myself and being able to listen to others, come into my heart and my second chakra connection to others, and be able to listen and hear that and just have it wash over me, in a wave of emotion that's just like precious. You can't buy that. You can't buy that.
No. You can't. No.
Now I'm all emotional. I'm all teary-eyed. Here to hear from
As am I. Yeah, just that it was hugging. It really was hugging a different person yesterday. I felt it. I didn't feel that resistance I had felt in him before. I mean, it's not perfect. It's not like, he's still a teenage boy, so there's still that. But in reality, it was just such a gift to know that, whatever he was harboring, he's worked through in his own mind and, in his own way, I guess. It may not be my way, but it's his way. And then I think that's what's perfect, that he's able to do it the way he needs to.
Yeah.
And I feel like that to me is a gift to both my sons. Andrew just graduated himself. He just did his GED, and he just did that on Friday. And, I had to let go of the attachment of him having to cross stage and do it the way, society tells us it's the way it has to be done. He did it the way he needed to do it for himself.
That's awesome. That is awesome. And Merry Christmas. By the way, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Meleka Mikimaka.
I don't know what that means, but I made that up. I know that I know your story, and I know why you're in Hawaii, and I know that you were called to go there, and I believe that you didn't know why when you went, and to come into the winter solstice and coming up on Christmas next week, and the Christ consciousness and the New Year with both your sons, at your side. Wow, what a testament! What a testament to be willing to change your life, and that's what you did. I know that you stepped out of your comfort zone into an uncomfortable zone.
Most definitely. I mean, being here by myself, not, physically, I guess, not literally, but yes. Because I flew here by myself. I didn't know anybody when I came here.
Yeah.
And now just to come here and do the work and fill my life with so many people that love me for me, not the person I pretended to be,
right?
like I did in the mainland, that I felt I had to be for everybody else, has been so uplifting. And so such a release in itself, such a healing in itself, and just to be able to share myself, my true self, and just come here. And even, my youngest who lives here with me now, he sees it, and he's just like, he's stepping into himself as well.
Yeah.
Being here. That freedom, he's given himself to be who he wants to be, not who he needs to be based on society's beliefs.
Yeah.
Has been so freeing.
That's awesome. Wow. We never know when the gifts of the holidays are going to come upon us. Boy, I'm feeling blessed right now. Just being able to be with you in the conversation and in fellowship and knowing, in my knowing of your situation and how far you've come and how far the boys have come. That's just amazing to me. That just makes me happy. Yeah. My heart is full.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, for me, it's a little sad because obviously I still miss my husband dearly. Yeah. But I also know he's here with us in spirit, and if he was still here in life, I don't know that I'd be here and had found what I have. So I've found the silver lining in what was his time to go and what was his time here on earth. And the gift I've received from it has been to learn self-love for myself and to find myself.
Now, I want to ask you something, and we've got about a minute and a half left. I saw something about you co-writing a book.
Yes, I'm actually part of Living in Gratitude Daily. It's a journal that's coming out. It should be any day now. We've just had a little glitch on, with computers going into Mercury retrograde, so kind of funny that happens. But basically, it's living in gratitude every day, and so it's a book for you to read somebody's gratitude and then journal about your gratitude for the day.
All right. Everybody, this is my friend Alma Pineda calling in from Maui, and this is the Transformational Sacred Drum Medicine Show. My name's Anthony Rodriguez, Walking Crow, and I want to thank Alma for calling in. I want to wish you the merriest of Christmas and a happy New Year and blessings with your 2 sons and joy over joy over joy. And I want to thank everybody who listened today. And if you didn't call in, it's okay. I want to wish you happy holidays and wish you well-rested time over the winter solstice. And I want to thank you for joining us. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Aloha.
Aloha.
Why does getting to the airport have to be such a dilemma? The driving, parking, finagling a ride. Well, if you take Uber, it doesn't. It's easy. Just install the Uber app. Enter your destination, confirm your location, and within minutes, a car will pick you up. Whether you're catching the red eye or taking off at the crack of dawn, you can request a ride 24/7. So avoid the hassle. Install the Uber app now and take your first ride today. Uber, the better way to get there.